Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the Flash episode King Shark. So spoilers, if you do not want anything ruined for you, if you're one of the few people on Earth that have not seen or heard about the amazing reveal that's happened at the epilogue of this episode, and you don't want anything ruined for you, stop watching now! Alright, everybody else here. Hi guys, Dave here. Holy crap. Okay. I'm sorry it took a little longer to get this video up and made. I had to go to bed early to go into work. I ended up working an extra shift at work because someone called out. I was tired. I'm still a little bit tired. And I had to get a quick snack to psych myself up to do this video. But holy crap. Okay. Let's go into it because I'll get to the big reveal at the end, and I'm going to have to do at least another video about that, but I'll go into that. Okay. King Shark picks up right where we left off with what happened in Escape from Earth 2. They're standing there in front of the speed cannon. Caitlin is in shock. She doesn't want to believe that someone she cared about is gone again. Wells decides that the best thing for everyone is that no one talk about what they experienced on Earth 2. Which unfortunately does make things a bit awkward. They try to push forward, try to move on. Meanwhile, it looks like Lila, aka Harbinger, has now stepped up, and because they, decided to get rid of Amanda Waller on Arrow, she is now the main director of Argus. Very cool gig. But it looks like one of our first things was finding one of the black sites where they were keeping King Shark. He's broken out. Now he's heading to Central City. Here comes good old John Diggle to give him a heads up and try to help to hunt this thing down. They're doing their best to try to go for it. Meanwhile, Barry is insisting on trying to push things forward. Cisco's freaking out that now Caitlin's starting to act emotionless, cold, distant, and Wells is trying what he can to try to, get back with Jesse. So that's kind of cool. But right now everything's just kind of shaken up, and everyone's afraid that they're never going to be able to get back to Earth 2 again. It's really dramatic, and of course Wally's trying to get in the picture to try to share some things. He even has a great idea for a new turbine engine, but he wanted to try to talk to Barry about it. It's something they could bond on. And apparently there's a bit of static going on between those two, pun intended. Wally just feels like Barry gets so much slack. He's the good son. He's perfect. There's nothing he can do that's wrong with him. And meanwhile, they're trying to hunt King Shark, but eventually King Shark finds them and breaks into the West home, ripping the roof off, and he says, "I know the Flash is here. I can smell him." Eventually, the West managed to get the heck out, to cover. Barry shows up as Flash to try taking him on. He gets hit hard, and then King Shark says something pretty darn boastful. "You may be fast, but you're not as fast as I am in the water." And he ends up taking off before Argus catches him. And that gets to be pretty impressive, considering that we later find out that's not exactly a false boast. We end up finding out that in the Earth 1 counterpart of King Shark was actually a scientist who was working on genetics as far as for sharks, for marine biology. Caitlin's coming off very cold once again, trying to get the facts and everything to try to help save lives. Cisco's being the heartful guy to actually help with that. But he's being real concerned about it, but he's still not trying to say anything. Eventually, Barry breaks down and tells Joe and them what happened on Earth 2 and how worried he was. Even John's saying, "Look, you got the whole thing what Oliver's doing. He's carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you got to stop doing that." Wally, at this point, thinks that Barry's a coward. Not true. Of course we know that. Eventually we start to see the group trying to get together to try to find King Shark. Eventually they figured out that how he's able to do it. Although he said, "I could smell you." They do cover a power that sharks do have. I actually covered this in my book. The Book of Biospiritual Yum Yum Goodness. On sale right now. CreateSpace, Amazon, and most bookstore websites. Sharks do have an amazing power. They toned it down. They just call it the passive electrical sense. Technically, what they call is the ampullae of Lorenzini. There are these pores on their nose that allow them to detect electrical activity from any kind of heartbeat and anything like that. They simplified it a bit, but I thought it was still cool. Basically, he's using that to pick up the static that was generated whenever the Flash runs. So that was cool. They used that idea to create essentially an electric lure in a bodysuit of the Flash full of sedatives on a buoy waiting for King Shark to come. And the last few minutes of the show definitely start to pick up. And it gets really interesting. Because when King Shark shows up, I mean, it's a slobber knocker of a fight. And eventually, Barry takes it out into the water. And Barry is running on top of the water. King Shark is jumping out in and out of the water, keeping up. He's going straight while Flash is zigzagging on the water. That alone was freaking amazing. But then, we've got Flash doing a quick cyclone, generating an electrical field to actually create like an electrified net to keep him in. That was cool. And eventually, of course, I should have expected it. Here goes the slow motion. He pulls the lightning and throws it at him. I swear, every single time, and last night was no exception, every time Barry throws the freaking lightning, I go, Hadouken! It's freaking awesome. Shot King Shark. They ended up putting him in a Prometheum prison, which, by the way, Prometheum is DC's equivalent of like adamantium. It's the major unbreakable metal that they've got there. So that's in case you wanted to know. So King Shark is captured. Diggle gives some good advice to Barry. Barry starts making things up with Wally, showing him I'm not perfect. I'm not, and he gets together with the crew to show, hey, we're going to find a way to get back to Earth 2. We're going to stop Zoom. I don't know how yet, but we're going to do it. And they've essentially got the first piece of the Flash Museum, essentially, which is Jay's helmet, which that was kind of cool. And Caitlin even is joking around with Cisco, saying, look, I'm not Killer Frost. I'm not a metahuman. I'm not going to become her, so stop worrying about it. This is just my process of healing. So I respect that. And then we cut to the epilogue. Okay. We have the man in the metal mask cowering in his cell. We see a flash of light. Zoom is dragging the body of what appears to be Jay Garrick along. The guy's freaking out. We actually start to see his eyes here at this point. Then Zoom reaches up, pulls his mask off, and the big reveal, he's wearing Jay Garrick's face. He's pulling Jay Garrick's dead body, and he's wearing Jay Garrick's face. And he says the words, this complicates things. And it cuts. And it's 3 weeks until we get new episodes of The Flash. We're going to get Trajectory, a female speedster coming back, but it's 3 freaking weeks. Ah! Oh my God. But the episode definitely, everyone's talking about the big reveal about Zoom, which is great. And I seem to recall making a video or two saying my thoughts about who it could be. But now, here comes the next big thing. People are going to ask, but wait a minute, is this Jay? Is he a clone? Is he from another Earth? Is he a speed doppelganger? What is going on here? Is it Hunter Zolomon? And I'm going to have to make a whole other video to address that part. Because now that we found the who is Zoom, now I get to start figuring out how and why. And I'm already working on some pretty funky ideas. And a few people, even on the Arrowverse, have covered a few of the big TV tropes they could be doing, but not the one I'm coming up with. Trust me, it'll be worth checking out. Just stay tuned to my channel and keep an eye out. I'll upload it eventually. But all in all, we were expecting this to be a bit of a downturn of an episode, just kind of de-stressing from what happened the last 2 episodes. But then it picked right back up again. It left us on an incredible high note here. Everyone's talking about it. I think that how we react to this and how we treat other people online and stuff like that is just as important to show who we are as fans as well as people. I gotta admit, when I first saw him take the mask off and I saw that face, I make what sounds like a more manly equivalent of Michael Jackson's noise. Oh! I hadn't made a noise like that since the Day of the Doctor, when they had, oh my God, all 12 doctors. No, sir, all 13. And I made that same yell, only I did it a lot louder and I could deafen people. If anyone was within 20 feet of me, I might have deafened them. Sorry if I woke up any of my neighbors and went to bed early. But it was a hell of an episode, man. I mean, it was a big reveal. Now I get to start trying to put pieces together as to what's going on and who this person is. Not to mention, well, wait, if that's Jay, then who's the guy in the mask? Apparently one of the guys, the showrunners of the show, is actually saying that we're going to have pieces coming along, and eventually when it's revealed, it's all going to make sense. That's going to be kind of cool. So, but it's not going to stop me from theorizing, darn it. So I'm going to keep going on it. I was going to originally try to do 2 videos today, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm a bit on the tired side. I had to get the review out, and when I hopefully get a little more time and I manage to get this to do my thing here, I'm going to let you guys know what I thought about the big reveal about the face behind Zoom and who I think this guy might be. And trust me, it's going to be a thought you haven't heard anywhere yet except right here. So stay tuned for Dave Original. Until next time, what do you guys think? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around. Tell me what you thought of that amazing reveal and where you think this is going to be for the future of Jay Garrick or Zoom. What do you guys think? Until next time, Dave signing off. Peace. Yum yum.